one story or is a combination of stories put together. And then we also, talk about the analysis and things like that of trying to figure out what is the big picture, which is for there, and what are the stories of resistance that we want to put here. And we also wanted to be very inclusive of a lot of different aspects of the culture. So fiestas were very important to people. To have some cultural aspect of it that recognize the importance of celebration. Or this one is the midwifery and birthing scene. So many people, if you're indigenous and you have a history where the dominant culture that is still living where you live committed genocide against your ancestors, having babies is a form of resistance. And when you would talk about the success of their resistance, they would say, we're still here. Because there was a campaign of genocide against us. And so, this is both celebrating midwifery and traditional herbs and traditional medicines, and also this idea of making babies as a form of resistance, and having families as a form of resistance. And so, we used mind maps. And so in the mind maps, we would have like the central theme, right? So that one was top down. The central theme is colonization and top down, and then this one we have grassroots. And then we think of a structure. So that one, we had the structure of, it's going to be a map to represent that it's a top-down worldview. And then we're going to have the four corners, which represent the institutions. We have the things which represent dynamics, systemic dynamics, and then we have the winds that represent systemic pressures, the pressure forces. And so that's kind of how we did that. For this, obviously we decided on the structure, which was the save a tree, and then in the roots of the save a tree, we can have these different scenes. And then that makes it easier, because then we can think of each scene individually, and we have this nice kind of buffer, so that we can, each one of these things has its own scene and has its own story. And then we work on the scenes one by one. Like each boat, this took 9 years to create, right? So even though the boats are only this big, they're teeny. And on the poster, they're even smaller. Each one of the boats had a whole brainstorm session on it. Around having cupcake masks, and we're going to make the masks are going to be out of sugar cane, and the cupcakes are going to be the crow's nests. And
it's going to be like a book, a one-book story.
Yeah, it's many stories.
How did you collect the stories? Are you researching in the library or going with the
Both. And we had a lot of biologists help us out. So people that are complete geeks, bird watchers, to help us with this kind of stuff. And for that, all the ants are scientifically illustrated. So we actually went to this thing called AntWeb and figured out, to the hair, what these different ants look like. These ants are very hairy. Look at the bum and then microscopic.
Was there a single person who did this? Or
What?
was there a single person?
No. It was 22 people worked on this. Yeah, and I don't remember exactly. I think like 10, somewhere around 10 different artists. So a lot of the people that worked on this weren't even artists, because there's so much information that has to be researched. All these different 400 different species of animals, plants.